Shop. Here is another one suggested from my best internet friend Shonaku, only this one is less sexual. Some facts about him. He loves B-stars and definitely isn't a furry. It was the summer of 1991. Back when newspapers were still relevant. And that's what Izuku Midoriya did for a living. He got a job as a paperboy a few months ago. It didn't pay much, but it was better than nothing. He was currently on his route and he only had one more stop left to go. He parked his bike next to the mailbox outside and opened the lid and placed the bundle of newspaper. He noticed that the door to the house he was in front of open and a girl with brown hair stepped outside. Izuku smiled and she waved back. His heart started to race when she began to walk towards him. OMG, Uraraka is coming this way. She's never done that before, thought Izuku, feeling his face rise in temperature. Hello Deku, said Uraraka. Hi Uraraka, said Izuku with a slightly visible blush. Deku, I told you before that you can use my first name, said Ochako with her hands behind her back and giving off her cheerful smile. Alright, hi Ochako, said Izuku. How are you doing? Asked Ochako. I am fine. How about you? Asked Izuku. I'm doing wonderful. Are you almost done with your paper route? Asked Ochako. Yes, you were my last one, said Izuku. Great, do you want to come inside for a little bit? Asked Ochako. Huh, I in your house? Asked Izuku. Yes, said Ochako. Is your parents alright with that? Asked Izuku. They're not home. Come on, it's pretty hot. I can get you something to drink, said Ochako. Well, okay then, if you insist, said Izuku. He kicked his kickstand so the bike would stay in place and followed Ochako into her house. She led him to the kitchen where she poured him some orange juice. Here ya go, said Ochako, giving him the glass which he accepted. Thanks, said Izuku, taking a sip. So Deku, can I ask you something? Asked Ochako. Sure, go ahead, said Izuku. You said that I was your last stop, right? Asked Ochako. Yeah, said Izuku. And yet my house is in the middle of the street. Normally the final stop would be at the end. How come my house is your last one? Asked Ochako. Izuku turned a little pink. Well, since you're my best friend, beside Kachan, I guess I just save the best for last, said Izuku in embarrassment. That's very sweet Deku, said Ochako, also a little pink. Izuku drank the rest of his juice and set the cup in the sink. Why yeah, anyway I should get going now, I gotta get home, said Izuku. Okay. See ya Deku, smiled Ochako as she watched Izuku go outside and get on his bike pedaling away. Story continues below. He is just so adorable. I love him so much. Although I'm not sure if he feels the same way. Maybe I should just confess. But that could ruin our friendship, thought Ochako with a blush. She thought about what to do all night and she eventually made her decision in the morning. I'm going to tell him how I feel, said Ochako. And so she decided to make the confession better by baking a cake for him as well. She spent a whole 3 hours on it with some help from her parents, who teased her about her crush. After making the cake she found that it was almost time for Deku to arrive. She grabbed the cake and went to her door and she began to wait. And wait, and wait, and wait. She kept waiting till a half hour passed by. Izuku hadn't came by yet and Ochako was starting to get worried. Maybe he is just running late, thought Ochako, trying to stay positive. 10 minutes passed by and her crush still hasn't arrived on his bike. That's it, I'm going, thought Ochako, concerned for her crush. She grabbed a plate and placed the cake on it and slid a lid over it and headed outside. She made her way to his house and found his bike parked on the side of the house. He must still be here, thought Ochako. She saw the door open and a man stepped outside and walked towards her. Is that his dad? He looks like him, thought Ochako, watching the man coming towards her. Hello. Is Deku ho? The man shoved her out of the way, almost causing her to drop the cake, but she was able to save it. Hey. What was that for? Said Ochako, watching the man go to his car, and he drove away. She saw the door was left open, so she decided to invite herself in. This time she dropped the cake in shock, and she also felt her heart drop when she noticed there was glass on the ground. What happened here? Thought Ochako with her hand over her mouth. She looked around desperately for Izuku. Deku, are you here? Shouted Ochako, scared for Izuku. She could hear some groaning in the house. She followed the sound and she found Izuku in a corner groaning in pain with blood on his arms. Deku, yelled Ochako. She rushed over and squatted down next to him. Oh, Ochako, said Izuku. What happened? You're hurt and there is blood. I'll call an ambulance, said Ochako. No, don't. I'm alright really, said Izuku. Deku, your arms are bloody and this house is a mess. Who did this? Asked Ochako. Quote. It was my dad, said Izuku. What? Your own father did this? Said Ochako, shocked. Why, yeah, he was drunk though, said Izuku. That doesn't excuse anything, said Ochako, steaming mad. No, it doesn't, but this isn't the first time he's done this, said Izuku. Story continues below. That son of a bitch. Do you have a first aid kit? Asked Ochako. Yeah, in that cabinet, said Izuku. He felt the pain in his arm increase as he pointed at the cabinet. Don't hurt yourself. Just keep your arms still, said Ochako. She got up and opened the cabinet. She grabbed the first aid kit, brought it over to Izuku, and began to treat him best she could. Sorry, I don't really know how to use these, said Ochako, wrapping his arms in bandages. You're doing the best you can. Thanks, said Izuku, giving her a smile. It's no problem. How long has he been doing this? Asked Ochako. He's been drinking since my mom died 2 years ago. But the abuse didn't start until a few months after that. He barely even works, so that's why I even have the paper route job. The insurance money is almost gone, explained Izuku. Deku, you should have told someone about this, said Ochako. I know, I'm just scared from him though. I don't know what to do, said Izuku. How about you come live with me? Asked Ochako. I can't do that. You guys are already struggling with your financial situation. Me being there would just make things worse for you and your family, said Izuku. I'm not going to let you stay here. You're coming with me and that's final, said Ochako. Alright. Wait, why are you here anyway? Asked Izuku, making Ochako a bit red. I came to tell you how I feel, said Ochako. How you feel? Asked Izuku, confused. Why, yes. And I feel like I have AC crush on YY Deku. For a long time, said Ochako. Izuku's face turned as red as the blood on the floor. Really? Asked Izuku embarrassed. I wouldn't lie to you, said Ochako. Then I like you as well, Ochako. That's honestly the reason why I keep going to your house last, so I can hopefully see you since you are usually home by then, said Izuku. Great, I sound like a creep, thought Izuku. That's very sweet, Deku, smiled Ochako. Never mind, thought Izuku in relief. Do you mind if I? Asked Ochako, getting close to him. Do I mind what? Asked Izuku, confused about what she is asking for. Kiss you, said Ochako. Oh, why yeah, go ahead, said Izuku, preparing for his first kiss. Ochako leaned in, connecting her lips to his. Amazing, thought Izuku, blushing along with Ochako. The kiss lasted a few seconds to Izuku's dismay. Was it bad? Asked Izuku after she stopped the kiss. No, but I remembered that now is not the time for this. I really should call an ambulance and the police, said Ochako. Good point, said Izuku. Ochako called an ambulance for him as well as the police, who tracked his father down and arrested him. Ochako helped Izuku pack everything he had and they went back home and explained everything to Ochako's parents, and her parents happily agreed to take him in. Only one problem. So unfortunately, since we are poor, we don't have a big house. We will have to share, said Ochako. I could just sleep on the couch in your living room. Not happening, said Ochako, taking his hand and leading him to her room. It was mostly empty aside from a bed, a bookshelf, a mirror, and a mostly empty closet. Is it really alright for me to be here, Ochako? Asked Izuku. Of course. Actually, with you here, this room will be filled up a bit more anyway, so at least it will look nice. Come on, let's unpack your stuff. You can do your clothes on your own though, said Ochako. They unpacked everything and it looked more like Izuku's room than it was Ochako's room. There. Now it looks better, said Ochako. What about sleeping? Asked Izuku. Oh right. My bed isn't that big, so we will have to make do with it, said Ochako, a little pink. We are going to sleep together? Asked Izuku. Well, I'm not letting you sleep on the floor. So we will have to, said Ochako. After they both got ready for bed, Ochako was the first to lay down on her bed. Are you coming? Asked Ochako. I am, said Izuku. He slowly walked close to her bed and he laid down facing away from her. I can't believe I'm in a girl's bed. It's pretty soft, thought Izuku. Deku, are you going to face me? Asked Ochako. Do I have to? Asked Izuku. You don't, but I just thought you would like to see me, said Ochako. Izuku slowly turned himself around and he found Ochako facing him. Hey, said Ochako, smiling. Hey, said Izuku, blushing. You alright? Asked Ochako, seeing him embarrassed. She herself was starting to blush. Why, you know it's alright if you don't want to do this, Deku. I understand, said Ochako. No, it's alright. I'm really grateful to you for saving me and offering to let me live with you. I will get more paper routes to help out around here, said Izuku. That's sweet, Deku. But don't worry about it, we will be fine. I promise, said Ochako. She scooted closer to him till their bodies were touching and she could feel Izuku's breath in her face. Sorry. I would hug you, but I don't want to hurt your arms, said Ochako. It shouldn't take too long for them to heal. This is fine, but are we tea together now? Asked Izuku. Ochako smiled even more. I would like that, said Ochako. Izuku smiled as well. I would too, said Izuku. They shared a quick kiss before drifting off to sleep together.
Finally, we can relate. Our side by side. This is me. I knew all along we'd find some way to come.